Hello and welcome to another respawning video. After taking a few months away from the hustle and bustle of reviewing video games, I'm back to review the most recent expansion to Assassin's Creed Valhalla, The Siege of Paris. Yeah, I realise I'm about 3 weeks late to this big Viking party, so if you find yourself watching this video review, I can only assume you're either lost or you're here to support me. If that is indeed the case, then hi mum. Yes, I'm doing okay, and yes, I'll get my brother to ring you soon. Sorry, on with the review. As always, before we get properly started, there will be no major spoilers, even if this game has been out for nearly a month.
What do you want? Your soldiers strike at Norse villages. Their attacks grow more common by the day. You make war against us, without cause.
If you're just here for a brief summary on whether or not the Siege of Paris is worth your time, then I'd say yes. But only if you're craving more of the same fun the base game provided in the first place. Because, for better or worse, this expansion isn't really bringing anything new to the table. If you had fun galloping through beautiful scenery, getting caught in the middle of warring kings, and raiding poor unsuspecting villages, then this DLC will scratch the itch for more of that. However, if you're looking for something completely new and fresh to make you reinstall this gigantic game, this may not be it. As is the case for most additional content in Assassin's Creed Valhalla, this story begins with a stranger visiting your homestead from a faraway land wanting help from the infamous Eivor the Wolf-Kissed. Ever the kind gentleman, or gentlewoman, Eivor is, they of course agree to travel to Paris with fellow northerner Toka in hopes of putting a stop to the new self-proclaimed King of Francia, Charles the Fat. Big respect for that nickname, by the way. Charles is definitely living his best life. Eivor isn't agreeing to do all this just to be a kind neighbour though, as their main concern lies fully with your own homestead and the fear that once Charles the Fat has conquered all of Francia, he will then move to England. Much like the base game, the Siege of Paris really shines in how you interact with all these weird and wonderful new characters. Eivor isn't simply about raiding all of Paris and taking the king's head. Instead, Eivor predicts that if Charles is taken out, another king will simply take his place and nothing will change. This results in Eivor deciding that the best course of action is to gain an audience with the would-be king and try and negotiate some sort of peace. This of course doesn't sit well with new allies Toka and her uncle Sigfred, who are both out for blood in hopes to avenge their fallen brothers. How you talk your way in and out of these situations and attempt to keep everyone happy is part of what made me fall in love with Valhalla in the first place. So I'm glad there's loads of it in this new story.
Failed to bring me any but you, and now you defy me.
I had to act or miss the opportunity. I did not mean to defy you.
Yet you have, and while you did, we were attacked, and took losses you might have helped prevent.
A new feature I really enjoyed was being given the choice on how to eliminate each new target. In a move that feels a bit more vintage Assassin's Creed compared to the wild heavy-hitting Viking style I've gotten used to, the game gives the player multiple ways to take down a target. For example, the first enemy you take down is a bishop. You can either go in all guns blazing and attempt to take on him and his guards, or you can follow a few simple steps to getting close to him and assassinate him in style, while he believes you're there for deliverance. Get ready to hear that word a lot more. The amount of preparation you put into each assassination can result in different unique methods, even if the result remains the same. The only issue with this feature is that I choose the sneaky theatrical kill pretty much every time, because it was so much cooler, and I've got a feeling it'll be the same for most players. New locations in Paris and the surrounding areas are a joy to explore. Once again, you can massively extend your experience with the game if you choose to fall down the rabbit hole of going after all the hidden gear and mysteries dotted around this wonderful landscape. Yes, I've seen some sites, IGN, have a moan about the French landscape looking way too similar to the English, and yeah, I agree it does because, you know, they are actually very similar in real life. Aside from sticking the Eiffel bloody tower in the middle of this map, I'm really not sure what else you could do to make it look more quote-unquote French. Anyway, I really enjoyed these new areas.
They deserve no less. But you are the wolf-kissed. You do not need my advice. So what will you do?
I will find my own way.
Gameplay is of course more of the same, with a few new weapons and abilities thrown into the mix. On the weapons front, you can now have a scythe? You know sometimes where you write down a word and then you realise you've never said it out loud? Yeah, that just happened. Scythe or scythe, whatever. Either way, I admit it's pretty damn cool. But if you think for a second I'm going to swap out my precious Mjolnir after spending endless hours hunting it down in the main game, then you can think again, mate.
Mjolnir? What's Mjolnir?
There are also new abilities, such as setting an explosive trap on enemies, as well as using the city's rats to your advantage and setting them on your enemies. Speaking of the rats, oh my god they're annoying. When I first saw the plague-ridden little shits running around the French underground, I got instant flashbacks to how much I enjoyed A Plague Tale: Innocence, and how well that game used rats in its puzzle systems. Yeah, so this really isn't the same. The only way you can deal with the rats is to try bat them away and then block them coming back by pushing an object over the area they just escaped from. More times than not, this was just clunky and frustrating and became more of a hindrance than a fun new puzzle game, especially when you're having to escort another character at the same time. How come I can't just kill them? I'm literally wielding the God of Thunder's hammer and I can't even take out a few rats? Lame. Despite all those annoying rats, I really enjoyed my time jumping back into Valhalla and playing through the Siege of Paris. New features are few and far between, and a bit of a mixed bag in truth. The more unique assassinations are a welcome addition, while the Rebels minigame, which I haven't even mentioned yet, feels like pointless filler that I abandoned after one quick go. However, the main story of the game is more than good enough to give you an excuse to jump back into hammering and slashing your way through enemies and negotiating your way out of trouble with kings and Viking clans alike. Once again, if you enjoyed the main game and have a craving for more, then I highly recommend this new DLC. But if you feel burnt out by the 100+ hours it takes to complete Valhalla, then this new edition may not quite be exciting or fresh enough to make it worth reinstalling. As someone who sits in the former camp though, the Siege of Paris was a joy. So I give Assassin's Creed Valhalla: The Siege of Paris an 8 out of 10. Once again, thank you for watching. It's been a while since I did one of these, so if you have enjoyed it or you want to see more, please leave a like or let me know in the comments below, because just knowing that, you know, somebody actually cares about what I have to say makes it worth doing. So yeah, once again, let me know in the comments below. And always remember to check out the website, respawning.co.uk, where you can get tons of reviews, news, and opinion pieces from all our talented writers. Even though the videos aren't going up as regular, the website's always going and it's brilliant, so please go check it out. And to keep up with everything we're doing, make sure you're following us on Twitter at respawninguk. Oh, and of course, remember to subscribe. I haven't done a video for a while, but Stu's still been around doing the Bears Den, and they're always brilliant. So go back, check them out, and yeah, like I said, hit that subscribe button as well. Once again, I've been Mikey, thank you for your time, and I shall catch you next time.